Hi guys, and welcome to episode 36 of This Week in Comics. Actually, scrap that, it's week 2 of Pete's Week in Comics, because backed by popular demand and partly because Sid's still not here, I'm back here in Comic Connections in Banbury to run you through the comics of my picks coming out this week from various publishers. So let's get on with it. Right, we will start with a brand new IP called Cover from Brian Michael Bendis and David Mack, popular creative team. If you are following DC, you will know that Bendis came on board basically to take over the Superman franchise, but he's also doing his own creator-own projects with his Jinx World imprint, and Clover is one of those books, and he's done stuff with David Mack before for Marvel, so a lot of people are going to be jumping on board with this one. Basically, the blurb is based on a true story, kind of. Don't know more than that, but if you're a fan of Bendis, I'm sure you're going to be picking that one up. Also out this week is issue 7 of Justice League, but I want to show off the fancy cover by Jim Lee, featuring my favourite and yours, Superman. So if you've been enjoying this new Justice League series, maybe you've just been buying it for these great variant covers that are coming out from Jim Lee, featuring all the members of the Justice League, then check this one out. I've finally got all 7 first issues of this series, so I'm going to catch up on it. I've heard nothing but good things, so hopefully the recommendation from other people is good, and therefore my recommendation to you is good. A comic that I am very big on is Super Sons. It's been mentioned many times on the show before, but this is Adventure of the Super Sons. We're up to issue 2 of this 12-issue maxi series featuring Superboy and Robin up to their old tricks. This is set before the current storylines going on in the Superman books at the moment, because if you are reading those books, you'll know that Superboy has gone on an excursion with his grandfather. So this is set before, but if you enjoyed the first run of Super Sons, which I know you all did, you should be checking this one out too. So, on to Marvel now, and this week, over here in the UK, saw the release of Infinity War, the latest Avengers movie on DVD and Blu-ray. And Marvel do not like to miss a trick when it comes to their properties like that, because we've got Thanos Legacy, issue 1. So if you're a fan of Thanos, maybe you first saw him in the Infinity War movie and you want to learn more about him, or you've been a fan of him for many years through the comic books. This is a great jumping on point either way for all you Thanos fans. So check this one out. I've heard good things. A lot of websites had early copies of this last week, so hopefully it's good, and for all you Thanos fans, it's what you've wanted for a long time, a new Thanos book. Keeping things on the cosmic side of Marvel, we're going with a brand new issue 1 that ties into the Infinity War story that's going on at the moment as Guardians of the Galaxy. That's right, not Guardians of the Galaxy, as Guardians, featuring the likes of Angela and Valkyrie and other great Thor-based characters. So yeah, if you're a fan of the Guardians, maybe you're more a fan of the Asgardian side of things, you're a Thor fan, you should be checking this one out. There's a big reveal at the end of this, which I will not spoil for you, but if you are a Guardians fan, you should definitely be checking this book out, because some big things are going to be coming out of this one, and I'm sure all you Guardians fans are going to be eagerly anticipating what's next. So yeah, as Guardians of the Galaxy, get it checked out. For a number of years now, Dynamite Comics have had the James Bond property, and they've been doing small miniseries and one-shots based around Bond. Different adventures, not based on the films or the books or anything like that, all standalone issues. And when they first got the property, there was a lot of talk about doing James Bond origin story, and that is out this week with the cleverly titled James Bond Origin. This is, as it sounds, it's the early days of Bond, so if you've ever wondered what he got up to before he was the super spy that you know and love, James Bond Origin is the way to go. So yeah, check this one out if you're a fan of Bond. Maybe you're a bit more of a fan of the books than you are of the films. If that's the case, you should be checking out the comics. They're more in line with the books. They're a lot more violent, a lot more serious than some of the films are. So check them out if you're a fan of the original Fleming books. Now on to collected editions and trade paperbacks of the week. We're going to start with a hardcover, Batman and Catwoman. It's the Wedding Album Deluxe Edition. So I'm sure you know, earlier on this year, Batman and Catwoman got married, or did they? Don't want to spoil that for those who haven't read it, but if you haven't read it, this is the wedding issue in a hardback format, full of extra content such as variant covers, sketches, all that sort of fun stuff. So maybe you missed out on the wedding issue, or you're just a big Bat fan and you like to have all the special hardcovers of everything. This is a perfect thing to get for all you fans of the Batwoman and Catwoman Will They Won't They marriage. And now for all you Walking Dead fans, I know a lot of you don't really like to buy the single issues that come out monthly, you'd rather like to wait for the collected trade paperback editions. Well, volume 30 of The Walking Dead is out, so if you've been catching up with these, this is the next volume for you. If you haven't been catching up, you've got a lot of catching up to do, because there's 30 volumes of this out, but Walking Dead continues to be a very popular seller in comic and graphic novel form. More people do tend to buy it in the collected versions, which makes sense, you get more bang for your buck that way. So if you're a bit sad that the TV show's not on at the moment and you're waiting for the new series to start, check out the comics because they will fill your Walking Dead size gap. And the last book I'm going to mention is one I've been waiting for quite some time. It was originally solicited back in February, due to come out in around about April-May time, and it's only just hit this week. It's the Beatles Yellow Submarine hardcover. It's basically the film that you've all seen and enjoyed, but in comic book format. Like I say, this has been anticipated for quite a while. I've been waiting weeks and weeks and months for this to come out. Finally, I've got a copy to celebrate 50 years of the groundbreaking animated feature featuring the Beatles and a load of their great music. So if, like me, you are a big Beatles fan, then I urge you to grab this book. It's going to be a very good read indeed. So that wraps it all up. All these titles are available here in Comic Connections and all other good comic shops from Wednesday the 5th of September. So be sure to get down to your local store, but if you are local to Banbury, or even if you're not and you fancy a bit of a travel, come and visit us. We're based in Parsons Street, been in business almost 24 years and can look after you with all your new comic, back issues, trade paperbacks, figures, t-shirts, statues, you name it. We can do it. And if you want to put a standing order with us, not only do you get all your comics reserved so you don't miss an issue, you save a massive 20% off cover price. Tune in next week because I've heard rumblings that Sid might be back. Sorry, I know it's not as good, but if you want more from me, tune in to the Sunday Night Geek every Sunday on Puritans Radio between 6 and 8 o'clock because you get 2 hours of pure banter from me. Take care. See you next time.